Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and especially speaking on the build-up for the festival of Janmashtami. It's a very auspicious time for all our devotees because our worship of our Lord Rajendra Nandan Krishna, it is his appearance. So it's the biggest festival for the year. And we have the verse which we are going to read. It is on the screen. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I'll just read the verse and then I'll just read the English translation and the purport. Tam tikshna chittam ativa machestitam vrikshanta kosha parichada shivat varastiram tat prabacha darshite nikshamane jananihi atishtatam. Translation. Putana Rakshas's heart was fierce and cruel, but she looked like a very affectionate mother. Thus, she resembled a sharp sword in a soft sheath. Although seeing her within the room, Yashoda and Rohini, overwhelmed by her beauty, did not stop her, but remained silent because she treated the child like a mother. Purport by Zivange Silesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Although Putana was an outsider, and although she personified fierce death because the determination within her heart was to kill the child, when she directly came and placed the child on her lap to offer the child her breast to suck, the mothers were so captivated by her beauty that they did not prohibit her. Sometimes a beautiful woman is dangerous because everyone being captivated by external beauty, Maha Mohita, is unable to understand what is in her mind. Those who are captivated by the beauty of the external energy are called Maya Mohitam. Mohitam Nabijananti Mam Evam Param Abhiyam. Bhagavad Gita 7:30. Nate vidu swagatim hi vishnum durashaya yahi bahirarthamanina. Srimad Bhagavatam 7:531. Here, of course, the two mothers, Rohini and Yashoda, were not Maya Mohita, deluded by the external energy. But to develop the pastimes of the Lord, they were captivated by Yoga Maya. Such Maya Moha is the action of Yoga Maya. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshununmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Satidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Navaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutan Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pramamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavenebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you once again. I'm very happy to see all of you, especially Mother Shampriya Mataji there, who I miss her prasadam a lot. Thank you very much for coming for today's Bhagavatam class. So today I was thinking that because it is the build-up of the festival, I was feeling that we should read about the pastimes of Putana, and not only discuss about the pastimes of Putana, but what lessons we can learn from this wonderful pastime. So we know that Krishna's appearance is very mysterious. And I was thinking about this, I was reflecting and thinking about Krishna's pastimes, and especially when Krishna, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, him appearing in a prison house, in a prison, and Devaki, suffering so much on the hands of her brother wanting, to chop her, with a sword. I was thinking, that even the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when he appears, his appearance doesn't mean because he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it's going to be, very joyous or very pomp. There's going to be a big celebration. This is what I was thinking about. That even when the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared, his appearance was a lesson to show that this material world is always full of problems. Unfortunately, sometimes we see the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we see the activities or we hear about the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we think Krishna to be human. But Krishna's pastimes are not to be considered as a human being has appeared. And therefore Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 9, verse number 11, Avajananti mammudha manushim tanumashrita parambhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form, for they do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all that be. So people deride the Supreme Personality of God, thinking that he is just a human being. But when we read and understand Krishna's pastimes, especially with devotion, then we get to understand what is the Supreme Personality of God and what is his position. So the slaying of Putna has many lessons which we hope to cover in this class today. So just fast forwarding, and for us to understand just a background of the pastime, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that all these demons who appeared in Vrindavan, they signify an anartha within our heart. When Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago, and he was in Mathura and transferred to Gokul, he killed at least, or he dealt with at least 21 types of demons, which Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains them as anarthas, or unwanted things that appear in a devotee's heart, in a sadhaka's heart. So for us to understand the pastime of Putna, she signifies the falsity of a teacher. A false guru or a duplicitous guru or a duplicitous teacher is what is signified by Putna's appearance. Because Putna, she came disguised as a mother. And a mother is supposed to give milk. But Putna, she was giving poison. And because of this, she represents a false teacher. So just a little bit background history before we continue. We see that Krishna, he appeared in Mathura in the jail of Kamsa. And by Krishna's instruction, Vasudev transferred, or he went and he changed the babies in Gokul. So Krishna is in Gokul and Vasudev is back in Mathura, and there is a very big pomp festival that is happening in Gokul. This is described by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So we are entering now the realm of Gokul. We are Nanda Baba. Nanda Baba, he was desperate to have a son. And he said, he was trying and trying and trying, and he couldn't even have any son. And he became so old that he became 70 years old, and still he couldn't have a son. So when Mother Yashoda was pregnant and all this happened, the transfer of the child and everything, Nanda Baba, when he saw his son, who was actually the son of Vasudev, at the age of 70, you can imagine having a son, he felt so much joyful, and he called for a very big festival. This, this festival is called Nanda Utsava, because Nanda Baba, he's happy that he's got his son. But there are two people in dilemma at this time. When the festival is going on in Gokul, two people are in dilemma. One is Vasudev. Vasudev is in dilemma. Oh, how is my son Krishna? Oh, how is he? Does Nanda Baba know that I transferred this child, that I exchanged this child with his daughter? Does Nanda Baba know that he gave birth to a daughter? Does Nanda Baba and Yashoda Mai know that this child is my child? Vasudeva is in anxiety. And the other person who is in dilemma and anxiety is also Kamsa. Kamsa is in anxiety. Why? Because Yoga Maya, the daughter, basically, who was the daughter of Nanda Baba, when she flew in the air, she told Kamsa, you fool, the person who is appearing to kill you has already appeared in this world. So Kamsa is in anxiety, Vasudeva is in anxiety. But Vasudev's anxiety is favorable. And Kamsa's anxiety is unfavorable, because Kamsa is thinking, how can I kill Krishna? And Vasudeva is thinking, how can I save Krishna? So let's start with Vasudev's anxiety. So a few days had passed. He said maybe 5 or 6 days. In other commentaries, they say at least 1 or 2 months had passed. That's why Vasudeva was in so much anxiety. But whatever the case, Vasudeva was in anxiety. And when Nanda Baba, he was having his festival, Nanda Baba thought that me being a representative of the king, it is my duty to go and pay taxes to the king. So Nanda Baba, he went to Mathura to pay his yearly taxes to the king. And Vasudev, when he heard that Nanda Baba was going to Mathura, Vasudev thought, I'm so much in anxiety because of my son. Let me also go to Mathura. At least in this way, I will figure out and I will also know how Krishna is doing. So Nanda Baba, he went to Mathura, and also Vasudev went to Mathura. And when Vasudev saw Nanda Baba, Vasudev was so happy because he could finally receive some news about his son. We have to understand, Nanda Baba is older than Vasudev. Vasudev is young. So when Vasudev saw Nanda Baba, he was in dilemma. He thought, I can't go and tell Nanda Baba, how is my son? I can't go and ask him that. And neither can I tell him, how is your daughter? Because his daughter, I am the one who took her away. So Vasudev, this is described by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Vasudev goes and tells Nanda Baba, O Baba, O Nanda, Nanda Maharaj, how is your progeny? He asked it in a very technical term to find out that if Nanda Baba knows what had actually taken place. And when Nanda Baba describes about Krishna's beauty and about how they're having a festival, Vasudeva was sure that Nanda Baba and Yashoda did not know what had taken place. So when the conversation was going on, Vasudeva requested Nanda Baba something. He said, Oh Nanda, please, my request to you, after you finish paying taxes, do not delay staying in Mathura. Please, as soon as possible, go back to Gokul because I can sense some danger. So this is the first lesson that we are seeing here. Vasudev is younger. Nanda Maharaj is older. Yet Vasudev is giving advice to Nanda Baba. In the times of difficulty, in the times of challenges, sometimes young people who are younger in age can also give good advice. Sometimes we might feel, oh, this person is young, maybe I should not listen to him. But look at Nanda Baba, when he heard about Vasudev's statement, he thought that yes, I should leave. In the first place, why did I come? I should have come after everything had been settled. The festival, it just got over. I should have given it some more time. So Nanda Baba, he went back on his chariot, going back to Gokul. So the first instruction, when we get advice, even from people who are younger in times of need, we should listen. And especially if that person is a practicing good devotee, is a Vaishnava. One who is a practicing good devotee will only give advice for the welfare of others. So this is a little bit contradictory, but we can see Vasudev being young, he gave instruction or he gave advice to Nanda Baba. So this is the first dilemma of the setting of this episode of Putana, the slaying of Putana. The second dilemma was the dilemma of Kamsa. Kamsa in anxiety. Oh, the person who is going to kill me has appeared. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? He was so much in anxiety. And at that time, he thought the best thing to do is to send a demon. So the first demon that he sent was Putana. Putana. Kamsa had a whole list of demons who he is going to send. So he thought the first demon to send, who is very powerful, expert. Putana, she is so expert in killing children. She likes to kill children and suck their blood. This is the meaning of the word Putana. So he thought, I'm going to send Putana. And Srila Prabhupada describes in this purport of the 6th chapter, in I think so the 3rd or the 4th verse, he describes how Putana was a witch. And Srila Prabhupada says that such witches, they would fly all over on a stick. Their airplane was considered to be a stick. We know in modern time witches, when we hear, when a witch is drawn, she's drawn driving on a broomstick. But the original witches, which are known in Vedic history, they just sit on any stick and they can fly. So Putana was very expert. But we have to understand what is the background of Putana. In the Garga Samhita, it is mentioned there, the history of Putana. It describes there that Putana in a previous life was known as Ratnamala. Ratnamala was a sister of Bali Maharaj. It is said when Bali Maharaj, he was performing his sacrifice to become most powerful, to take over the whole, you can say, universe or the planet in one sense. At that time, Vamana appeared there as a dwarf. When Vamana appeared there, dressed in a deer skin, as a young brahmachari, dwarf, he looked so handsome and so cute. And Ratnamala, she was sitting somewhere nearby. When she saw Lord Vamana, his beauty, she thought, oh, I wish I can have a child like this, so handsome, so unique. I wish I can have a child like this, and I wish I can feed him with the breasts, with the milk from my breasts. This is what Ratnamala was thinking. And then when she saw Vamana coming and Vamana asking for charity, and then she saw Lord Vamana expanding and taking over everything and even punishing Bali Maharaj, immediately she thought, if I had a son like that, I would kill him with poison. I would kill him with poison. So because she had this desire, this is mentioned in the Garga Samhita, she had this desire, she wanted to feed Krishna, and at the same time she wanted to kill Krishna. Krishna, he fulfilled this desire. So here we see the second lesson, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is sitting within our heart, he knows our desires. If we desire ill for anyone, we should not be surprised if we have to take another birth. And for us just to fulfill that desire of ours. It is said that there is no question of going back to Godhead unless all our desires become spiritualized. So every devotee should be very careful of what they desire. Of course, Ratnamala was a demon. But for a devotee, they should be very, very careful, because it all starts by thinking. From thinking, it goes to willing, and from willing, it goes to acting. So Ratnamala, she appeared as Putana. And Kamsa instructed Putana, please go to Nandagram, go to Gokul, and go and kill all the children who are at least 10 days old. 10 days old. So we see how Putana, she goes around and she reaches Nanda Bhavan, where Krishna is lying in the cradle in the cot. And how does Putana appear? She doesn't come with her Rakshasi form, with her teeth sticking out, or she does not come, holding or with a broomstick or whatever stick she was flying in, or she doesn't come with her big nails, or she doesn't come, with her thunder-looking hair. How does she appear? This is mentioned in 2 or 3 verses previously. It is said that Putana, she disguised herself. How did she disguise herself? She had Malika flowers garland on her. She had the most, you can say, nice looking sari and bells tingling. And she had a lotus flower in her hand. The description is given there, a very broad description in 2 or 3 verses previously. It is said when everyone looked at Putana coming in the assembly, they were mesmerized. Is this the goddess of fortune? And generally, even we have seen wherever, we normally preach or wherever we go to offices, when someone dresses very well, the security guard even won't stop him. They become mesmerized by the dress. So Yashoda and Rohini, a mother of Balaram, although they were at Nanda Bhavan, we know Nanda Maharaj was still in Mathura, he was on the way back. When they saw Putana coming in, they didn't stop her. They thought, oh, this is the goddess of fortune, and she has come to bless our son. Yashoda was thinking like this, she has come to bless our son, so just allow her free entry. Now, this is very, very important lesson here. This is the third lesson we are learning. Normally, we should not accept anyone by his dress and his address. 2 things normally we hear. We see somebody, he's dressed very nice as a sadhu, maybe he has a nice, he has a nice kamandalu, or maybe a sannyas danda. That is his dress. And what is his address? Oh, he's from Vrindavan. He's carrying, he's carrying a japa mala, maybe he has some Vrindavan dust on him. So normally we accept people because of their dress and their address. And therefore Srila Prabhupada, he warns the practicing devotees. What does he say? He says, we have to see what is the action of a devotee. We have to see, just not the dress. Therefore it is said we should not, just don't, in English it says, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a book by its cover. So in this way, if we just, we're just seeing the dress and the address of the person and we think, oh, this is a sadhu. And this is what Yashoda Mai and Rohini, when they saw her, she had a lotus flower in her hand. They thought, oh, this lady, she is a goddess of fortune. And Srila Prabhupada gives the example of a sword. This is the verse today. He says here that Putana Rakshasi's heart was fierce and cruel, but she looked like a very affectionate mother. Thus she resembled a sharp sword in a soft sheath. Although seeing her within the room, Yashoda and Rohini, overwhelmed by her beauty, did not stop her, but remaining silent because she treated the child just like a mother. Putana, she was like a sword in a sheath. A sheath refers to like the outer covering of a sword. Sometimes you can have a sword which is decorated in a velvet covering with very nice embroidery that even people will not know it is a sword. This is Putana. She was allowed entry. So when she came in, she saw Krishna lying in the cradle. He was lying in his cot. Krishna was lying there. And she did not know who is the power of Krishna. Of course, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but because of his Leela Shakti, Krishna, he covered, you can say, Putana's consciousness. Of course, she's a witch, she's powerful, she's supposed to know the power just by seeing, in one sense. But Krishna's Leela Shakti covered. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes that the position of Krishna was like fire covered by ashes. So position of Putana is like she's a sword covered in a decorated sheath covering. And the position of Krishna he is fire covered by ash. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur described. And this we can see in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this lesson here. Krishna might appear small, but his power is so amazing. We see many pastimes, the pastimes of Raghunandan Thakur. He was worshipping a small Gopal, a deity of Krishna. And just by his offering of devotion, the deity started eating. We see the example of the deity of Shakshi Gopal, of the Brahmana, who had promised the young, you can say, guide, who had taken the old man. And this young Brahmana went and just begged Shakshi Gopal, you are the witness. And Shakshi Gopal, the deity, started walking to go and give witness. So although Krishna is small, he's a young baby, 1 week old, Krishna is known as Ananta or Purna. Therefore it is said, Namachintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Suddho Nitya Bhukto Abhinatva Nama Namino. And even Krishna's name might appear very simple, just few syllables. But the name of Krishna, the deity of Krishna, the paraphernalia of Krishna has the same power as the small that we should not think that Krishna's paraphernalia or Krishna's name or Krishna's, you can say, deity has no power. It might appear small, but Krishna's paraphernalia is most powerful. So what happened? Putana entered in. She saw Krishna lying within the cot. Young, small boy, 1 week. When Krishna saw Putana, Krishna immediately closed his eyes. Immediately closed his eyes. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes, Krishna closed his eyes because he thought, oh my God, this inauspicious witch has come. This is the first thing Krishna thought. And then Krishna thought, oh, I will have to kill her. She is taking the position of a mother. She is going to feed me. Oh, I will have to kill her. And I will kill her, but I will give her something great. Another reason. And then Krishna also thought, oh my God, she is such an inauspicious person. If I don't kill her, she will go and kill so many other children. So Krishna in fear, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes, in you can say transcendental fear, Krishna closed his eyes. So this is a very nice lesson that we see here. Krishna closed his eyes because he could see the intentions of Putana. He could see the intentions of Putana, and therefore he saw that she was a witch. He saw that she was disguised. She was a demon. She had bad intentions. And Krishna was not ready to open his eyes towards her. So similarly, the Lord who is sitting within our heart, he knows what is our intention. Therefore, it is mentioned that Krishna, he is known as Bhavya Janardana. Krishna wants to see what devotion we have. And our devotion is seated within our heart. But if our intention is that in our devotional service we want to become great, we want to become powerful, we want to become recognized, if Krishna sees that this is our intention within our heart, then Krishna will give us, what is it called, these external things which we are desiring, but Krishna will not give us his true love. And this is the same thing that Putana had, this intention of killing Krishna, this falsity. And Krishna closed his eyes. He did not want to show his form towards Putana. So then Putana lifts up Krishna. And when he lifts up Krishna, she puts her nipple in Krishna's mouth. And Krishna bites that nipple with so much force that Putana starts crying. She starts saying, oh, leave me, save me, anyone, save me. And she starts crying and screaming. And she's dashing out of the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, of Nanda Bhavan. And she comes out and she falls down within, you can say, the small garden or outside the gate. And her real form is then revealed. It is said that her form was 12 miles. 12 miles is almost 20 kilometers. The form of Putana, of a witch, was 20 kilometers. 20 kilometers is like from Nairobi temple to the airport. It is almost 20 kilometers. So imagine Putana's body, 20 kilometers was exposed. There's a very nice lesson here. It is said, Oti Bhaktir Chor Lakshan. It's a Bengali. Oti Bhaktir Chor Lakshan. So Putana, she was dressed like this. Too much devotion, too much, you can say, wanting to show that she's a pure person, goddess of fortune. But just by one bite of Krishna, Krishna saw his intentions, and just by one bite, she was immediately exposed. The lesson to learn is that if we have so much intentions within our heart, which are not favorable for our devotional service, one day they will become revealed. We can act, as it is said in quotes, Oti Bhaktir Chor Lakhan. We can act as a pure devotee. But one day, everything will be exposed, like Putana was exposed. So it is said that Putana, she was, it is described by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur how Krishna is so amazing. It is said that Putana could have fallen down within Nanda Bhavan and destroyed that small, you can say, beautiful place and that beautiful village because she was such a big body. She had a big body. But because the devotees had taken shelter of Krishna, Krishna pushed her outside and she destroyed all the crops that were there and all the fruits, the trees that had fruits. because all of them were belonging to Krishna, to Kamsa. They were belonging to Kamsa. So anyone who takes any shelter of Krishna, there is no harm that will take him in any way. No harm will come upon him in any way. And the most amazing thing in this pastime is Krishna's kindness. It is mentioned by Uddhava, Aho Bakiyam Sthana Kala Kutam, that although Putana had come, this is the most amazing thing in Krishna killing this first demon in the first week of him being in this material world. Although Putana had come with a bad intention, although Putana had come dressed and Putana had come wanting to kill Krishna, because she did the service of serving Krishna milk, Krishna gave her the highest reward of what? Of giving Putana the same position of Yashoda Mai in Vaikuntha. Krishna gave her position of mother in Vaikuntha, although she was a demon. So this is a lesson for us to understand that even if we have bad feelings, akama sarva kama va moksha kama udharidi, even if we have bad desires, if we worship Krishna, the benefit is still great. Imagine the Supreme Lord, his kindness. Somebody came to kill him. And normally if somebody comes to kill you, you call CID, I don't know who, BBC, and want to prison the person. Krishna, okay, fine, he killed her. But look at the reward that Krishna gave her. He gave her the position of the mother. This is Krishna's kindness. And we can see many people in the history of the Bhagavatam, they have offered Krishna small things. And Krishna has given them liberation. He's given many things. Look at Gajendra. What did he offer Krishna? Just a flower and saying, oh Krishna, remembering Krishna. Look at Kubja. She was hunchbacked. What could she offer Krishna? But she wanted to offer Krishna her body. And Krishna transformed her into a very sweet and beautiful person. So although we might have bad intentions, if we still worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the reward is very, very great. So now Putana, she is lying down 12 miles her body. And it is said at the same time Nanda Baba is coming in from Mathura. And he sees all these things. He sees the trees destroyed. And all of a sudden he sees that, this big body. And he immediately thinks, oh, Vasudeva was right. Vasudeva is a mystic. His warning, his advice was right. So it is said there, the people of Vrindavan, the people of Gokul, they picked up Krishna and they started smearing Krishna with so many auspicious things. They carried Krishna and he said they took cow dung and they applied tilak in 12 places. They used the tail of the cow and took the earth and sprinkled it on Krishna. They gave Krishna so much affection. This is a very great lesson to learn here. Krishna was in difficulty in the eyes of the residents of Gokul. When they saw Krishna in difficulty, they did not run away. They did not badmouth Sadhu. They did not badmouth him. They did not say, you're a young boy, but maybe it is your karma, you deserve it. They immediately lifted Krishna and gave Krishna so much affection. Dear devotees, there will come a time in our life whereby we will see a devotee in difficulty. We should behave in the same way that the residents, when they saw Krishna in difficulty, dealt with Krishna. We should also deal in the same way when we see a devotee who has fallen down, a devotee who has had difficulty because of Maya, a devotee who has had problems. We should deal in the same way that the affected devotee should feel there is a lot of love amongst the community. the community, the residents of Gokul, they dealt so nicely with Krishna. And he said at the end they gave Krishna to Mother Yashoda, who gave Krishna her nipple for her to suck, and everything was perfect. This is the pastime of Putana. So in conclusion, I'm just going to read again these lessons for you, and then we will take some questions and comments. So we saw that here how Putana was describing about a false teacher. We saw that how Vasudev gave advice to Nanda Baba, although him being younger. We saw how the demon Putana in her previous life, she was known as Ratnamala. She had bad desires, and because of that, her bad desires made her take another birth. We see that how Putana dressed herself in a way that she could not be recognized. So we have to judge a devotee by his actions and not by his dress and his address. We see how Krishna, although he was young boy, still Krishna was Purna. He was complete. He had his full Shakti. So Krishna's paraphernalia, his name, his form is full and complete. We see how Krishna, when he's lying in the cradle and Putana lifts up and he closes his eyes because he can see the intention of Putana. So similarly, if we have bad intentions in our heart, Krishna will not give us his pure devotion. Then we see how Krishna exposes Putana. She was pretending, Oti Bhaktir Chor Lakshan. This is the lesson. If we have bad desires, bad intentions, we will always be exposed. And we see how Krishna is so kind. Although he exposed Putana and killed Putana, he still gave her the highest benediction of a mother. And finally, the lesson to learn is how the residents of Gokul dealt with Krishna after Krishna had seemingly difficulty, or else Krishna was in problem. They gave him so much love and affection. Srila Prabhupada's quote at the end, Srila Prabhupada says, just like Putana wanted to kill Krishna. That was her plan. But Krishna, because he sucked the breast of Putana, he took her as her mother. This is Krishna. Krishna never sees your bad side. Krishna takes always the bright side. Putana, although she came to cheat Krishna, but how could she cheat Krishna? Krishna thought, I have sucked her breast, so she is my mother. She should go to the same place where Mother Yashoda Mai is going. This is Krishna, all kindness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So thank you very much. We have 10 minutes for any questions, any corrections. Anyone wants to add anything, please.
Thank you very much, Govinda Prabhu, for your kind association. Of course, we have Her Grace Mansiganga Mataji who would like to, I don't know, ask a question or comment, but she can unmute herself and ask.
No comments. Comments is, he has amazed me with his knowledge. But I'd like to acknowledge some people. Just last minute, I sent them the invite to come to the class and they came. Rachna from India, Emmanuel, of course, is there. There's Josh from USA. There's about 5-6 people from Eldoret, Anthony from Mumbai. So first, I like last minute, I myself couldn't get in. I was on the old Zoom of Eldoret. Then I figured, oh my God, this is Nairobi Zoom. So I should thank them for coming at the last minute of asking them. Now, my question, Govinda Prem Prabhuji, is, you mentioned that Putna, when he was watching this episode, Vamna thing, and she said, oh, I'll kill him, And you added that we should be so careful in our desire because we'll have to take another birth. Now, my question is, now again, you're saying, I find it a bit contradictory that because Putana gave her milk to Krishna. That's why she got liberation. So where do we stand? We curse and we think of something evil and we get onto another birth. And yet by doing some service, you're saying there's liberation. So how are you going to solve this contradiction? Over.
Okay, thank you very much, Mansiganga Mataji, for your question. This question is actually a very good question. We understand that Putana, she is part of Krishna's Leela Shakti, part of Krishna's pastime. But the lesson to learn here is that if we have bad desires towards Vaishnavas, there is no question of going back to Godhead. Krishna says the Vaishnavas are the most dearest to me. We can perform service, yes. And if at the same time we have a mentality of hatred towards a devotee, how is it possible we are going to go to Krishna? Because in Krishna's Loka, we have the Vaishnavas who are there. And this is the meaning of a Kanishta Adhikari. Kanishta Adhikari means he just wants to worship the deity or worship the Lord, but he wants to neglect the devotees. If we have this mentality of a Kanishta, that okay, fine, we can worship Krishna, but we'll have so much hatred towards the devotees always in our heart, then we are still in the Kanishta level, and in a Kanishta level, no question of going back to Godhead. Maybe Umapati Prabhu can say something because I'm on that platform, I cannot speak about it. Umapati Prabhu, you can unmute yourself and speak, please.
Oh, no, it is a wonderful answer. I am fully satisfied with your answer.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Any other question or any other comments? Rukma Prabhu, anything you would like to say?
No, it was an excellent class, very nice class. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Ram, that's from my side.
Hare Krishna, Govinda Prabhuji. Too wonderful a class. Every stage of Putna's pastime dissected and bisected so beautifully. Never could think that each line and every word could have such a vast, lesson to it. Fantastically summed up lessons. And please have more of these Bhagavatam classes. Please involve us more. I do not know what time and all, but I really want to attend more of your Bhagavatam classes and whatever. Beautifully imparted, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Rachna Mataji. Okay, Ram.
Thank you very much, Govinda Prem Prabhu, for a wonderful class. We request you, if you can give us your time every Sundays and give us some seminars like this to purify ourselves. So thank you very much. We would like to appreciate Govinda Prabhu. Kindly unmute yourselves and we'll chant for Govinda Prem Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Ram Ram.
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Govinda Prem Prabhu ki Jai.
His Grace Govinda Prem Prabhu ki Jai.
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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare